Tonight, on the first in a brand new series of Location, 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 Phil and I are in the buzzing heart of Manchester. Our brief, to find the ultimate city centre loft.
Sounds easy. Manchester is loft heaven. The only problem is we've got two of our toughest customers ever.
I don't even want to go and look, honestly.
Watch our house hunting skills being put to the test as Anthony and Colin, the boys who know exactly what they want.
We'd compromise on the bedroom size if we had the living space.
And don't want.
Not very good.
Give us just a tiny bit of a challenge. Will we find what they're looking for?
It's going to be a tricky few days.
The Loft, a blueprint for style and a byword for space. With spectacular lofts like this in the centre of Manchester on the market for £600,000, it's a dream that few of us can ever attain. But the lure of the wooden beam and polished floorboard is such that even entry-level flats like this are in very hot demand. We're in town to try and find just such a space for Colin Gallimore and Anthony Freely. They have £135,000 to spend. But, having been on the search for an incredible 7 months, have yet to find anything they really like. Which raises the question, are they being a bit fussy?
Fussy? I don't think we're fussy. I think we've got particular needs and likes.
Yeah, we're quite particular in what we're looking for, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So we set off with the boys to find out what those needs and likes might be.
Colin, you brought us to this building here. It's a stunning-looking building, but what is it about it that you really like?
There's several things. I mean, the main thing is the actual size of the windows. I mean, one of the things that we're looking for is a property with big windows.
Right. Why is that?
A, because we can see what's going on outside, but mainly because it allows lots of lighting.
For people to see you in.
Exactly. Walking around in your little bikini outfits, yeah, maybe.
So you're looking for lots of light?
Yeah.
We like socialising, don't we?
Yeah.
Going out for a swift half or two.
I think you usually call it a couple of sherries, don't you?
We go to the gym.
We go to the gym most days. Most of the time spent in the jacuzzi rather than in the gym.
We particularly like this building, Kirsty. The tall, white, skinny one.
It's an amazing building.
Particularly like the mouldings, the gargoyles along the top.
What is it being tall and thin that you like, Anthony? A lot of people like to be able to not run up and down stairs.
I think it stands out in Manchester. There's not many buildings that are 3-storey. Like, that's almost townhouse proportions.
Yeah.
And it really stands out in terms of architecture, being something different.
I think Anthony likes more architectural stuff, and he likes the features to be there. I think I'm more of a case of I can modify what we've got. I don't know, do you agree with that?
To an extent, yeah.
I think one of the differences about this new building, they've tried to do different things with it. It's not a square building. The windows are coming out of the building. You've got floor-to-ceiling windows. You've got the balconies as well, and lots of steel, which is sort of going back to the old stuff as well, something that's a little bit different.
Yeah, the combination of brick and steel makes reference to the old architecture.
It's curved. Most buildings are square plot of land, square building. This is something different to offer, really.
You're really into this, aren't you?
Yeah.
These guys really know their stuff.
I mean, we're glad Kirsty and Phil are going to help us because we've been looking for 7 months. And I think because we've looked at that much stuff, it's very difficult to prioritise in terms of location and property and also investment.
You get bogged down as well when you're looking. I think it's always good to have someone else's viewpoint, especially with them being the experts, as it were. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see what they've got to say on the area.
I think we'll give them a run for their money, though.
So, time for a recap.
OK, guys, let's really cut to the chase, see what we're looking for. As I understand it, new buildings are in, old buildings are in. Big balconies are good news. Huge windows have got to be in. Central location.
Not too central.
Because of the noise.
Noise, exactly. In terms of old buildings, new buildings, I think more stray near to the old building.
You were talking about the height of rooms.
Height of room, size of windows.
OK.
Detail.
1 bedroom.
Yeah.
Anything I'm missing?
View. We don't want to be that far away.
Yeah. I think the answer is you're looking for the ultimate urban property.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of work to do, so let's get out and see what's on the market. Get viewing. Yeah?
Excellent.
Colin and Anthony have seen a lot already, so they know what they want, which always makes it easier for Kirsty and me. Their maximum budget is £135,000. This must include at least one bedroom, but they will stretch to £140,000 if the property was to include a parking space for Colin's car.
Armed with their extensive wish list, we selected 7 properties for them to view. Hopefully, somewhere in there we'll find their dream loft. The first of the properties is in the southern end of the city centre, in the old canal basin of Castlefield. Properties here are at the cheaper end of the market. Ours is in the very modern-sounding M3.
It's an entirely new building and the new properties inside aren't finished. The only one we can see is the show flat. Now, it's not called a show flat for nothing. You've got to bear in mind that the developer is bound to pick the nicest flat in the building. The one you end up buying could be darker, it could be noisier, and it might not have as good a view. Always be sceptical. What did you say about ceiling height?
This is big.
It's one of your first
requirements.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely got that.
It really has. It really has. Now, up here...
The downside of this property is that there's no proper bedroom. Like many lofts at this end of the market, the sleeping area is simply a raised platform or bed deck.
Now, I know you said you didn't want a bed deck, but this is the biggest bed deck I've ever seen. Would you change your mind if there was a bed deck which was actually another space other than just a sleeping space? You could have this as a sort of sleeping, telly-watching space.
Really, it's not something we've considered, and looking at it, I don't think we'd really realistically consider purchasing
Even
it.
if I said that you could do other things with this room. You're not going to come up just for 2 secs?
It's too much of a compromise. It's
Well-
not really what we're looking for. I don't even want to go and look, honestly. There's no windows, it's all one room, no.
They're not called viewings for nothing, lads. It never hurts to have a quick look.
The boys have just left. Clearly, they didn't like the bed deck. I thought it was quite a sensible use of space, but I think some of the use of space on this floor leaves a lot to be desired. Come and have a look at this. Kitchen works very well, but what's this? Wouldn't it have been simple? Cut a hole in there, put a breakfast bar in. Down here, what is currently wasted space, a couple of chairs, dining area, very nice. Leaves the rest of this for your living room. If you've found a place like this that you like, speak to the developer, find out what improvements or alterations can be made to suit your own requirements.
Well, that's the first one crossed off our list. Never mind, it's still early days. Property number 2 is a 1.5 bedroom apartment in this great-looking ex-insurance building. Lancaster 80 is still under renovation, so Phil's on wet paint alert for his new suit, and the boys need to use their imagination for this viewing.
The reasons why we brought you to this particular flat is because it's on the top floor, so it's nice and quiet. We've still got the ceiling height. It does fit in with your budget. As you can see, it's completely unfinished. It's the way they're selling them. Right. So you've got to use your imagination.
The place you have to use your imagination more than any other is with the view, because there's a corner of a really beautiful view. What are those hills called?
Oh, the Pennines.
Pennines.
Yeah.
So you learn something new every day. But this building is about to be developed. Now, they've assured us that it's not going any higher than how it is now.
Give us your impressions as you walked in, had a look around.
Need a lot of imagination for that.
Big enough?
Just
Or you hope
adequate.
for something bigger?
Just adequate.
I prefer larger living spaces than this, to be honest. The hallways we came through into the property is much larger.
And what about kitchen? Is this big enough for you?
This, I think, is the minimum height allowed. Because how tall are you, Phil?
I'm just over 6 foot.
Oh, they all say that. We're just under
Plus
6
that
foot.
much space.
I mean,
And that means
we're
this
not
must
tall,
be...
but it does feel very
Yeah,
low.
it does
It feels
feel
very
low.
enclosed.
Yeah.
We compromise on the bedroom size. If we
Not much luck in the bedroom either. Small and rather revealing.
And I just spotted that window out there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to be overlooked in that.
Yeah, that is very overlooked.
Very overlooked, yeah.
How did you get up in your bedroom?
Well, there were some good points, like the view, some bad points, like the height of the kitchen ceiling. But essentially, it was just too small.
Oh dear, I'm getting the sneaking suspicion that the £135,000 that the boys have to spend may not get them just as much loft as they're hoping for. Still, we are in one of the best places in the country to get them that dream space. If we can't find them a loft here, then something is badly wrong. Throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries, the city was the centre of a huge manufacturing region. Its massive red brick factories and huge cotton mills kept hundreds of thousands of people in work. But although row upon row of Coronation Street-style, two up, two down, terraced houses crowded in from all sides, the vast city centre, with all the great architecture, remained largely uninhabited.
It wasn't until the early 1990s that things really began to change. Inspired by the success of factory and warehouse conversions in London, developers moved into these fabulous city centre mills and warehouses, creating luxury apartments. People snapped them up and started the migration to the centre of the city. The rest is history.
By the end of this year, Manchester city centre will be home to an estimated 10,000 people. Demand for housing is at an all-time high, and a third of all apartments are bought before they're even finished. There's a crane on every corner and a scramble to make over every derelict building in town.
It's almost inconceivable, but the developers have even managed to get their hands on the old Hacienda nightclub. Sacrilege!
So, although there's plenty of scope for choice, Colin and Anthony are entering an already booming market.
Do you guys come down shopping at weekends? You're too busy looking for houses when we're not here.
Our search continues. We're looking for the perfect one-bedroom loft. The third viewing is at the Boxworks.
That building site is the next thing that we've selected to show Colin and Anthony. A little bit different this time. I don't have a set of keys, and there's not even a show flat that we can walk around. Believe it or not, more and more people who want to live in an inner city location are buying things that essentially don't exist yet.
A shell is 4 walls, a ceiling and a floor. The interior is finished only to a basic standard and won't include any fixtures or fittings. Buying one is a fantastic opportunity to create your ideal home, but here's some important points to consider before shelling out.
Large empty spaces are deceptive, so measure your room layout on the floor. Get advice from an architect. You don't want to be forced to demolish walls and decks because they don't comply with regulations.
Do your sums. It's not cheap to finish your shell. The cost of plastering walls, laying a floor, plumbing, heating and lighting all add up. An average shell space at 1,000 square feet can cost anything between £25,000 and £50,000 to fit out.
Well, Anthony, fantastic model.
Most developers have models to help you visualise your future home, but take our advice. Don't even think about parting with any of your hard-earned without having a really good look. It's only when you're out on site that you can start to visualise the living experience.
So this is what we're here to see, basically, is the view. And it's not hugely edifying. I mean, if that building was gone and that building was gone and you were just left with the red brick one and the church and that warehouse, which isn't too bad, that would be fine.
Yeah, I think, like you say, the one with the fire escape's nice with the church behind. The other two buildings, I'm not sure are going to be moved. I think they're staying. Not very good.
It's not.
Well, that's put paid to that idea. Time for a bit of a recap, I think, and a realistic look at Colin and Anthony's wish list.
OK, it's been a very long day and we haven't got the dream flat.
What have we learned?
We've learnt a lot, and that's the important thing. We know what you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we can go from there.
Don't want noise. You definitely don't want bed decks.
I think that's a fair estimation.
Yeah.
After the break, fun turns to frustration. So it's time to get tough with the boys who think they can have it all.
No buts. I am banning but, OK?
Colin and Anthony's £135,000 should get them a decent one-bed loft in Manchester. But what would it buy them elsewhere in the country?
This 3-bedroomed house near Fishguard? This 2-bedroom cottage in the centre of Leeds? Or a 2-bedroom apartment in Bretbury Hall in Derbyshire?
Find out after the ads. Before the break, we asked you what £135,000 might buy you. Was it this 3-bedroom house near Fishguard? This 2-bedroom cottage in the centre of Leeds? Or a 2-bedroom apartment in Bretbury Hall in Derbyshire? The answer? Any of them. They all cost £135,000 or less.
So, back to Manchester, where we're on the search with Colin and Anthony for the ultimate city centre loft for £135,000.
We've seen 3 properties so far, but the boys are proving difficult to please.
I don't even want to go and look, honestly.
Remember, they've been on the hunt for 7 months before we came along, so they aren't going to compromise. They're looking for the perfect size, layout and location at the right price.
It's early morning, the guys are still asleep. Kirsty and I have come looking for divine inspiration. We've come to this church, say our prayers, and would you believe it, it's being turned into flats. St George's Church, no seriously, we've just got the brochure on this. It's going to be turned into 25 apartments. What do you think, Kirsty? Would they live in an old church?
I think they definitely live in an old church, but for them, location is everything. And I think this is an old church in an industrial state, and it's just not what they're looking for.
You mean we got up early without reason?
Onwards then, with a spring in the step to property number 4, centrally located at Samuel Ogden Street. This one, at least, is in the right place.
Impressions, guys?
A lot of features. Yeah, nice.
Lots of features.
Bit of ceiling height, a few windows for you.
Yeah, gorgeous.
No noise of traffic. So, just first impression is the living room. You think might be a bit small.
Too narrow.
Yeah. There's not much you could really do with it. You can see they've got it laid out as best as you
What
could.
else do you need apart from a sofa, an armchair, and a telly? Because you've got all your eating space down there.
Yeah, Phil, you're playing devil's advocate. You know
I'm playing
perfectly
devil's
well that
advocate.
this room is like a train track. It's too
It's
long and narrow.
Yeah, it's very corridory. It's not
Yeah.
got a homely feel to it.
But I really want to take you next door and show you, you know, the bedroom, what is now the bedroom.
But Phil and I didn't bring the boys here at this stage in the hunt for nothing. Although this space is currently divided up into living room and bedroom, neither of which is very big, our key to realising the full potential of this loft is to take out the dividing wall, effectively doubling the living space.
If this wall came down, it would be an absolutely enormous sitting room. It really would. It would be huge. I wish I could just cut a hole, like a little peephole in this wall, and you could stand back and look the whole way down. I mean, I wish we could climb out those windows, actually. That would be the best way of doing it. Yeah. And you could look in on the room as a whole.
You're pretty imaginative, though. You can picture the width.
Yeah, I think we can visualise how it'd be.
I think it looks stunning. The one worry for me is that we're going to downvalue the property by doing the alterations rather than maintain its value.
Yeah. Changing a 2-bedroom to a 1-bedroom.
Well, you're changing a 1.5 bedroom into a really strong one.
bed.
Come on, guys. We're creating your perfect flat for you here.
I've come up here without the boys to the room that the current owner uses as a spare room. The boys regard this as a bed deck, but it has its own light source. And if you bricked up this wall, you enter it off the stairs, which are off the hall. It's a proper bedroom. Using this as the main bedroom would enable them to knock down that wall, which is between the kitchen sitting room and the current bedroom. You'd be doubling the size of your living space, and you'd have an even better view, a really fabulous view. I don't think it would damage the resale value of the flat at all.
So it's the dividing wall that really holds the key to improving this loft. When you're viewing, never be afraid to use your imagination to create the space that you want.
If you own a leasehold property and you're considering moving walls around, structural or otherwise, that's not structural. Be sure to ask your solicitor to check the terms of your lease. It's highly likely that you'll need permission from the freeholder of the building in order to make alterations. It's called a licence to alter. You must have it before you start work.
I know what Kirsty's saying about that wall. You could knock that down, you get a fabulous view right through the windows. But
I'm not sure I'd want to spend that and do that to it.
I know the feeling. And the worry I've got is about losing the height in the hallway. If you take that wall down and take it back, you'd lose all the height.
I do like the flat, like all the features.
Yeah.
Like lots of aspects about it.
It's
Just not sure on the use of space, as you say.
boys don't seem that keen. Mark my words, we'll be bringing them back here. It's got far too much to offer. I'm not letting them get away with it.
Neither am I. After all, loft living is about maximising your living space.
So it's on to property number 5. Now, why do I have a sinking feeling?
Well, at least it has a balcony, but all is not well in the smallest room.
Then there's not a very good smell coming out of the bathroom. Which says to me there might be a problem with the drain, so that's something that I'd be looking into.
No good. On to the next one, number 6. And time to start being cruel to be kind.
So?
Nice.
But no buts. I'm banning but, okay?
Just looking out the window.
And seeing that we're at quite a low level.
6 feet off the ground.
I'm not giving up.
No one can see walking by. I mean, no one walking by here can press their nose to the glass unless they're very tall. And frankly, if there are basketball players walking around like that, they can come in if they want.
It's really no laughing matter. We've got a serious problem. The places in the lads' favourite areas are either too small or too expensive for them. However, a solution may lie with property number 7 in the northern quarter, home to the Vaults.
At first glance, the northern quarter may not look like an up-and-coming area, but it's tipped to become Manchester's next property hotspot. This old garment district is attracting millions of pounds of developers' money. It's only a 10-minute walk from the city centre, and an opportunity to get in before the prices rocket. We just might be in luck.
We're here to see the building behind us, which is covered in scaffolding. There's only a show flat available in this former bank vault. Colin and Anthony have had to be dragged here. It is not their favourite area, but Phil and I feel it might be a very good investment. So we're going to go in and check it out.
Not your usual Saturday afternoon stroll down Park Lane, Kirsty.
The nettles. Right, come and look at this, you two. I'm thrilled to bits with this. I know what you feel about the northern quarter, but look at this space.
Space huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Enormous living space. I mean, this is a big sofa, and it looks lost in that space. Exposed brick.
Yeah.
Okay, ceiling height. A lot of light. You've got your own dining area. Original pillars.
Nice.
You could paint them purple, like the famous purple pillars.
It's a big space.
It is a big space.
It's got some
Overall
nice...
impression, it
come and
feels
look at the
really
bedroom.
spacious and nice.
Come and look at the bedroom. Right, now here we are. Look, your bedroom. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say that this is no better than a bed deck. But it is, because it's huge, and the kitchen is over there. It's completely separate. Right, come and look at this, you two.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge. It's an absolutely enormous hall.
I'm a big fan of hallways. It's just someone welcoming friends, and the immediate impression is big.
Enormous. Great
Big
bathroom. Yeah, absolutely enormous.
So, gang, this is it. Shoot from the hip. What do you think of it?
I like it.
You impressed?
I like it a lot.
You pleased that we brought you here?
Yes. Yeah. I'm pleased we've seen this flat. I'm not so pleased it's where it is.
What I'm interested in this is about 30 seconds walk away, somebody's spending £10 million making it look nicer. Now, if somebody was going to spend £10 million on my immediate neighbourhood, if I wasn't living there, I'd try and get to live there. And if I was living there, I'd sit pretty and count my money.
All we're saying is that we feel that we've been given a crystal ball. That what's happened in other cities, in other garment districts, is that they have become hugely popular. It's happened in New York, it's happened in London, and it seems to me that it's happening in Manchester. And purchasing a property like this could put you ahead of the game.
Right, flat's gorgeous, as we say.
Yeah, I'm worried that we're being dragged to areas where we don't want to look.
It's got the space, it's got the style, it's got everything we want in terms of a flat, but not out there.
Well, not out there yet, boys, but half close your eyes and I swear you can almost see restaurants and shopping malls.
How much much of a gamble do you think this location is?
I don't see it as a gamble. I really don't. Millions of pounds being spent down the road. It's going to happen.
It's difficult because we know Manchester, we know what the area's like. And during the day, we're filming now during the day and it's fine. In the evenings, coming back to the flat would feel very unsafe.
We show them things in their target area that are too small.
Yeah.
And they go, no, they're too small.
Yeah.
So we show them things that they can't afford in their target area, and they go, no, we can't afford it. So we bring them, it's a natural step. We bring them somewhere where they don't necessarily want to be, but they can afford what they want.
It's very difficult to narrow down what you're looking for, and I think it creates more of a sense of urgency and more a sense of pressure because you're looking for something that is maybe not out there, and then it's a case of you're going to have to compromise.
Well, it's taken them a while, but overnight, Colin and Anthony are finally getting the idea that it's just not possible to get everything they want for their £135,000. Something is quite clearly going to have to give.
Guys, where are we at now? You've had a couple of days, we've seen quite a few properties. You've had the night to think about it. Tell us where are your thoughts?
Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, it's weird really because we've looked at quite a few flats and a lot of them contain what we're looking for, but we can't seem to get the whole package, the right sort of detail, the right sort of features, the size, in the right location. And I feel a little bit frustrated this morning, but anxious as well that we carry on and looking and see if we can find what we're looking for. I think it has made us realise that although we've considered all the options and we've been doing that for a long time, I think yesterday really did focus our minds on the fact that we do want to stay in a particular area. I think up till the last couple of days we might have considered elsewhere.
Having worked that out, what part of your criteria are you going to be prepared to bend on?
Size, I think.
So, with that in mind, we've just got enough time to try and pull another property out of the bag.
And they don't want a bed deck. We went to see a couple of things the other day with bed decks and they're absolutely adamant, no bed decks.
We've just had a bit of luck. There's a top floor flat come to the market today in the block behind me. We're the first people to see it, and I'm dying to get in there and see what it's like. Come on, team.
The property, R8, is in Bloom Street, deep in the heart of Manchester's gay village. The apartment's got not one but two proper bedrooms and some superb original features.
Well,
You've got the windows and beams.
balcony.
Fabulous view.
I think it's fantastic.
Let's go and check out the rest of it.
Okay.
We like this one a lot.
It looks like we've finally hit the jackpot. It's got absolutely everything the boys want, with a few little extras thrown in.
Beams.
Just a few more beams. You wanted features, guys. Ensuite shower.
Ensuite showering, yeah.
Fantastic.
It's all fitted out really well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very subtle.
But all roads lead back to that fabulous balcony and one of the best views in central Manchester. Things are starting to feel very positive.
Really spectacular, isn't it?
So, guys, cut to the chase. Are you impressed with the view?
Stunning.
Especially the view down Princess Street with the bridge.
Were
train
you
going
ever
through.
expecting to find a balcony in your flat?
Not in the budget, I don't
It's
think.
what we'd hoped for, but
Yeah.
You
not
weren't
anticipated we'd get.
And how about, were you anticipating a view like that?
Well, it's one we'd hoped for as well.
But you hadn't anticipated.
No.
How about the windows?
Stunning. They're modern, but fit quite well with the building. You can see, where they're going with in terms of the
And
style.
it's very private as well because you're screened on either side and with the old wall, so you don't feel you're being
Lots
imposed
of positive stuff here.
Definitely.
The flat's 140 grand, 5 grand more than they said they can afford, and there's no parking. But could that balcony swing it?
It is exciting. It's a lot of money, but it's exciting. So what do you think?
I like it a lot.
I do. Fabulous balcony.
It's the balcony that really sells it.
It is, and the fact that you've got all
And
the
that
windows.
behind.
Yeah,
What a fabulous view.
definitely.
However, not everything is perfect with apartment 405.
It is above the noisiest bar on the whole of the noisiest street in central Manchester. I mean, that is the only thing.
It's big enough, it's the right price. We've got to deal with the noises.
Yeah.
But they know they've got to give on something.
It's time to think money. Finding your perfect loft space is one thing. Paying for it is another. If you're buying a shell, expect mortgage lenders to give you only 75% of the market value rather than the usual 90% plus. And remember, that's just for the shell itself. You'll have to arrange another loan to finance the building work. If you're really pushing the boat out and converting a whole derelict property from scratch, then you will probably have to finance it as a commercial venture. You'll need a business loan to get the building work done, and then once the property has been surveyed as inhabitable, you'll need another normal mortgage to buy the property from yourself. Not for the faint-hearted.
After the break, it's crunch time in Manchester.
This is it then? We're going to have a go at buying this?
I think so.
And the chase is on to get our hands on the boys' favourite flat.
He wants a really strong offer and he wants it quickly, if this is going to happen at all.
Well, is this just a tactic?
I don't know.
To find out where you can still find a city loft without breaking the bank, visit the 4Homes website at channel4.com/4homes.
Welcome back to Manchester, where it's make your mind up time for Colin and Anthony, who've seen 8 properties and there's been some tough moments.
We compromise on the bedroom size if we had the living space.
But this doesn't offer either, really.
Yeah. Not very good. I don't even want to go and look, honestly.
Then we struck gold, a flat we thought had everything.
You've got your own dining area.
It's got everything we want in terms of a flat, but not out there.
Except the perfect location. They finally decided to shortlist 2 properties. The first is my favourite, an apartment in this converted cotton mill with excellent features.
And the second, the one we're in now, is my favourite, light and airy and with one of the best views in town. But £5,000 more than their stated budget.
It is exciting. It's a lot of money, but it's exciting. So what do you think?
I like it a lot.
Well, there it is. It hots up and we've got 2 properties to see on the final day tomorrow.
So here we go for the second viewings. They've got £135,000 to spend and 2 choices. Which one is it going to be?
The first property on Colin and Anthony's shortlist is a 1.5 bedroom loft apartment in this converted cotton mill behind me.
This clever conversion has an open-plan living and dining area. I love the exposed brickwork and numerous features, but most importantly, I reckon that the flat has excellent scope for improvement.
This loft has a bed deck and a bedroom. Colin and Anthony could double their living space by removing this dividing wall. Then, with a few minor alterations, they could turn the bed deck into a proper bedroom. A clever and inexpensive solution to their problem.
£3,000 should take care of the building work, but with an asking price of £135,000, I'd have to admit that it's already at the top of Colin and Anthony's budget.
This is the other property on Colin and Anthony's shortlist.
It's the penthouse apartment in this converted warehouse. There's a bright and spacious living room, a sectioned-off kitchen that we all liked, and 2 proper bedrooms. No bed decks here. One of the bedrooms even has the added bonus of an ensuite shower room. The features include cast-iron columns and beams. But the flat's biggest selling point, yes, it's that balcony and view, putting the asking price up to a tantalising £140,000. £5,000 more than the boys are prepared to spend. But first, the cotton mill at Samuel Ogden Street.
Well, I'm really pleased that you shortlisted this property, because it's one of my favourites. The purpose of the second viewing is really to try and deal with any questions or worries or things that you've now thought of that you want to have a second look at. What was in your mind that you needed to come and check out again?
I think for me was to look at the lounge space because we talked about taking the wall down and we're not very comfortable with that, so it was to have a look at the space that was here to see if we could use it.
That is not a structural wall. It doesn't hold anything up, it doesn't support anything. It's a simple job to remove it. My estimation of cost would be about £1,500. You've got a day's work to take that out. You're not going to cause a lot of damage to the floor or the ceiling. I really don't consider it a problem issue. I concern myself that people get too involved in the financial implications of doing work and damaging value. It's your home.
We're looking for this place for more as a stepping stone, more like 5 years. If we were to do all that work, we'd want to stay longer than 5 years, ideally.
You just said the words, immortal words, all that work. £1,500 worth of work is not all that work. And if it was going to damage the value of your flat when you put it back on the market, put the wall back up. It's another £1,500.
You like keeping us busy.
More work. We've done
I'm just throwing these out to you. It's ideas. It's up to you to reject them or go with them.
Second viewings are a good time to move furniture about, with the vendor's permission, of course. A little rearrangement can give a whole new perspective.
Does it bring on a different feel? I'm in the bedroom, Colin and Anthony still in the living room, wandering around, seeing if it works for them. They're really going to take this to the wire, aren't they? I think the flat's great. I have no concern about removing that wall, and I genuinely think if we brought them into this flat and the wall wasn't there and the bed deck was made a proper bedroom at 135,000, they would have gone, wow, it's perfect.
So it's on to shortlisted property number 2, located just across the road in Bloom Street.
I really like that door. I think the lift is
Just
around
round
here.
here.
Yeah. When we left this flat the other day, when was it? God, was it yesterday? It seems a whole world ago.
Yes.
It seems just a whole lifetime ago. We looked back up here and we saw another couple looking over that terrace, and it gave me a really peculiar feeling, a sort of competitive feeling. I wanted to rush back and, you know, drag them out and say, no, 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 that's ours, we want to keep that for Anthony and Colin. That couple thought that it was too small for them, personally. I rang the agent and spoke to them about it. But it has only just come on the market, and when I think of all the other things I've seen, and I think of the market in Manchester and all the other people who are looking, I can't help thinking that it's going to be snapped up.
So, no time to lose then, boys. Get your second viewing in quickly.
It's a family-sized kitchen. It's fab. How big is it? Twice, 3 times bigger than the last one?
Definitely, yeah.
What's it got? Dishwasher, bonus, bonus, bonus.
Saves a big job each day.
Microwave. Will it fit there, do you think? Will it fit in that gap? I think it will. Should
I think so.
Should do. I like the detail, the metal.
I like this. Natural light in the kitchen. What's going on there? Excellent.
That's a bonus. What about this recess here? Would you leave it, or would you... Little recess, would you leave it, or would you put some little shelves in, or...?
I think it's nice that it is. Yeah. Gives it a little bit more space in the hallway. Feeling of space.
I'm a bit worried about them, but I think they'll be okay.
It's a good job we're short. That's all I can say.
Short chances. Ensuite, I didn't expect this. This is lovely.
Sheer luxury. One of the things we didn't ask for, and yet we've managed to pull out of the bag.
I love the common parts of this flat. They're so cool. This door, this exposed steel gantry, which rests on the beams and really uses them and has all the services running off it, the gas, the electricity, the telephone. It fits in, the design is brilliant. And the final touch, the stairs. Masses of exposed brickwork, which is the boys' favourite thing.
And they've even decided that the noise from the bar downstairs is no longer an issue. Everything else about this penthouse loft is just too perfect.
Right, guys, the time is here. You're out of the property market and you're desperate to get back in. We've done a lot of work, we've seen a lot of properties. Are either of the ones that you two shortlisted the right property for you?
I think we've discounted Cotton Mill.
It's been discounted.
Yeah.
The first one, it's out of the equation.
Yeah, I think the second viewing confirmed that for us.
Right.
It felt even smaller, and we had a much better look around and decided
Which
it's not
leaves
for
us
us.
rather opportunely stood on this balcony in the penthouse flat. What are your thoughts here?
We like it. We like it lots.
Yeah.
Like it enough to buy it?
At the right price,
If
yeah.
the price is right, I think it's the catch phrase.
This is it then? We're going to have a go at buying this?
I think so.
I think we'd like to give it a try.
Committing your money.
Yeah.
Scary as it may be.
Now we get to the nasty bit. This flat is on the market at £140,000. Do you want to pay that much for it?
I think if it had had parking, we wouldn't have thought about it. We'd have just said, there's the money, we'll take it tomorrow. Because it hasn't got parking, I think we need to compromise. We're compromising and we think we need to get a compromise on the price.
I think it's unlikely you'll get it for less than 135, but I certainly don't disagree with the wisdom of starting at 130 and seeing what happens. You just never know.
Exactly.
My only concern is that it's done yesterday. That it's done, you know, as soon as physically possible. Because I don't want to put in a low offer and to have that sitting out there exposed so that whoever comes and sees it tomorrow gets wind that there's an offer and goes in at the asking price, which you can't afford because of the parking issue. So would you be prepared to let me do it now, right now?
Right.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
We said we're going for it, so
Go for it.
If you want something, you've got to be prepared to fight for it and get your bid in before anyone else.
Hi, sorry I'm unable to take your call at the moment.
Oh, that's all we need. I don't think if we can't get hold of him, anyone else can get hold of him, and that's the key.
I can't believe we've come this far, this close, and not been able to get to speak to the man. It's gutting.
9 a.m. and I'm taking no chances. It's straight down to the office to put the offer forward in person.
Hi, how are you doing?
We've got an offer for you on 63 Bloom Street in Manchester. The gentleman's made an offer of 130,000. That's not acceptable.
How'd you get on?
Oh, it was a nightmare. They turned it down. I'll tell you about it. They
Yeah?
turned it down immediately.
Let's cut to the chase. What are we going to do? Do you still love the flat? Do you still want to buy the flat?
I think it's lovely, and we're disappointed we're not having a look at it again today. Do you want to go 133?
I'd say go with it, yeah. Try 133.
133, see what happens.
133 it is. But sorry, lads, someone's about to throw a spanner in the works.
Chris, we'll come back to you. Bye.
What now?
The vendor has been on the phone to the agent. He's got a tenant lined up and he's now considering renting it.
But they never said it was available for rent.
He wants a really strong offer and he wants it quickly, if this is going to happen at all.
Well, is this just a tactic?
I don't know, but we've got to go in at the 135.
Well,
We've got to
no,
use that
wait.
now.
Maybe we're being pushed to 135, but I'm not saying the agent is using this as a tactic, but he's a canny vendor that. He has other properties in Manchester. He buys and sells a lot. You know, we're up against a professional. This is not just
But
your...
if he does have a tenant lined up, then he's going to rent it tomorrow. There's no time to play games for us. We are going to secure this. He wants a strong offer and he wants it quickly.
I hear what you're saying, but I want to do a bit of research. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time might not be on your side, but always try and find out as much as you can before putting in your offers. It turns out that the threat to rent the property was serious after all.
My feeling now is that we should go in at 135 and say that's our top offer, end of story. We have no more money to offer you than that. If that's not good enough to prevent you renting it, fine, rent it.
It makes me feel like saying rent it then. If that's your attitude at such a late stage, you know we're interested. We've been to look at it 3 times. What is the problem?
Yeah.
Go and rent it, because that's how I feel when we get treated like that.
Well, I wouldn't advise getting principled. It's very not. Lots of people get very principled at delicate stages in negotiation. If you want the flat, you have to go for it.
What would you say?
135.
Yeah, 135. Hit them with 135 and say, that's it, that's all the money. Here's the cheque waiting. See what happens.
Okay, let's go and do it. They really want the flat. I mean, there's no doubt about how keen they are on the flat, but they just haven't got more than 135, and that has to be a last and final offer. Would you?
"4 p.m. and the estate agent finally rings back.
What can you do?
We've dragged Colin and Anthony along to tell them what he said. And I think probably you've seen my face and you've seen Phil's face. Actors, we're not. It's not good.
Right.
He said that the vendor had said that it was 139 or he was going to rent it.
So he's taking the rental option, is he?
He hasn't done it yet. No, he hasn't actually signed the rental agreement yet, but he has said that unless he gets 139, he is going to rent it. And I said to Chris, as you know, we're not up to 139.
Let's get him the pen for the rental agreement. We can't afford more than 135.
How does it make you feel, guys?
Disappointed.
I'm a bit angry, to be honest with you, because I think he's strung us along a little bit. That's how it feels. I mean, if you're going to sell it, you're going to take serious offers, and 135 is a serious offer.
I think the vendor has changed the goalposts. He essentially wants to rent his flat, and unless someone will pay him 139, he's going to do that. We've done all that we can.
True.
I'm sorry it hasn't worked out, but as Kirsty said, you're well positioned to go on and find something else, and I'm sure you will. So
And don't give up. Serious embrace.
Certainly.
Oh,
You'll be fine.
I'm really sorry.
We will.
It'll be okay. They stuck to their guns. And whatever you might be thinking, that is a key element of buying a property.
All too often, when the going gets tough, the first thing that people forget about is how much they can really afford.
So it's vital to remember to get your finances sorted out in the very beginning.
Still, we've shown them some excellent options and helped focus their mind. My feeling is that they're not going to be homeless for too much longer.
Sadly, that's all we've got time for in Manchester. Next week, we're off to Brighton to try and find the ideal seafront apartments.
Come on, Kirsty, I'll let you buy me a drink.
Drink? I'm going shopping. Have you seen the shops in there? And the good news is that Colin and Anthony have now found a place to live close to one of the lofts that we showed them.
We came here during the original shoot and looked at one on the ground floor.
We liked the development, didn't we, at the time? Just that flat wasn't quite right.
And we've got what we wanted, which is a balcony, got parking space.
2 bedrooms,
Lovely
city views.
quiet location just off the main drag, which is what we wanted.
Yeah, we really like it.
We're really happy.